Because Barside did say he could request a call in or something like that.
Yes, you can if you're on a computer, which is what I might be trialing next week if this works.
Oh, because it's your show.
It's my show.
There you go, people. Join the gold tier Patreon now to hijack Ian's show.
Okay, Susan, Barside, and Kerry Young, welcome into the Riverside chat. Welcome.
Next week on Incensed, Ian's head explodes with Riverside invites.
That's a foul. Master27B, hello. Right, so I'm in watching it on my Android phone. I pasted that link into the app that Ian had put in. It was just copy paste, put it in, it's taking me straight in it.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Masterful27B. Do background filming or BTS, and that's your username right there.
It's just BS, Milo.
BS. Depends on the quality of the content.
Remove the T and you've got a BS. Oh.
Anyway, Milo, are we... Mazzy's on. Hopefully at some point she'll get the Riverside thing working.
Because we're now at 9. We're nearly at Hundo Giratina hour.
We are. It's like 21:04.
Let's get... just wait a minute. 21:05's coming up. And we'll be on our way.
Milo.
Does anybody else do that? Whenever I check the clock, I somehow look at a Hundo Pokemon CP.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Oh! He doesn't name his Pokemon, Milo, let alone know what the CP's.
No, I always find myself looking. It's always 11:07 in the evening. I see 23:07. I'm like, oh, Hundo Zekrom. Wait, no.
Hundo Zekrom, another one.
Okay, Sue said break a leg. Let me just check the soundboard. Bear with me 1 second while I give it a... Hang on, make that live.
What's he going for?
Hey.
It's not a cowbell to start, it's just a cow.
Just a cow.
It's just a cow.
And
they're off. Lid. It might look like a bell, but it's a flask lid.
It's flaccid.
I said flask lid, not flaccid. Flaccid.
On this week of the Incensed podcast, how was our 420? Niantic's gone all not safe for work with the dress code, and how do we feel about change? Welcome back to the Incensed podcast for the 168th time, and this week we have Ian Waterfall, the Hydration Man. We have Masterful27, the Cow Whisperer, and myself, Pogo Miley UK, the Fun Lord. We're going to stick with that title. It's good to have you joining us this week to talk Pokemon Go, about us, and other general trubbish. Gentlemen, how are you doing this week?
I'm ready for it, and give the audience a little bit of BTS. We're streaming completely live to our patrons on Riverside this week, and we've spent the last 40 minutes dealing with Android issues. So, not saying anything about Android, but it just proves that Apple is superior. Anyway, Mark doesn't like to talk about Android. So anyway, Marky, how about you?
How are you?
A bit like Ian, I'm gonna give a little bit of BS to the listeners. BS? What Ian just said absolutely is. But no, I was still.
It's not BS. It's the truth.
You threw me off guard, Milo. I thought I was the cool whisperer. When you said cow whisperer,
I don't know why. Notes has said, I'm afraid cow isn't a word. We're going to put cool in there.
The cool whisperer. I just looked at it and
I went, I definitely typed cow.
As we record this show, there's a big thing going around social media at the moment.
Cow whispering?
And, well, it's one of these things that says if they ask you a question, and I'll give you a really bad example. It's like, I know what your favourite drink is if you look between R and Y on the keyboard. And everyone's going, what does that mean? And then they go, oh, it's the letter T between R and Y. Oh, my favourite drink's tea. I get it. So I thought you were doing something there with that one, Milo. It was like, oh, Mark, you're like, look between the C and the L on the keyboard. I'd have gone,
nice.
Not even on the same row, mate. That would have been absolutely carnage. But I'm good, Milo. Thank you very much. I'm pleased that you are still fun. On to the third week now. This is
keep
good.
That going-ish.
Trub-ish?
Oh.
Ish. I'm making no promises.
Ishy. Wishy-washy.
But obviously, as you know, you will be Sir Game. I prefer that title compared to the Game Lord this week.
Change, Milo. Change.
Change. Well, we'll get onto that a bit later.
As the something Doctor all those years ago. Change, my dear, and not a moment too soon.
Well, boys, some good news.
What?
Some folks might have to listen to this while they're doing Clever Hatch Day. But if you are indeed doing Clever Hatch Day, or if it's finished, or if you're in some other part of the week, many months after, don't forget.
Pop your incenses, champions. Let's go.
That's right. We love for you to do just that. And then you can let us know if you get anything awesome while listening to the show. Our socials are at Incensed Podcast across X, Instagram, and Threads. We've also got an Niantic Campfire community, and you could go down the email route as well, contact@incensedpodcast.com. We also do have the Patreon exclusive Discord for communicating with us as well. And if you communicate through any of those avenues, you've got to include hashtag Shinies of the Week.
Can you clarify the spelling?
Of course we can. The hashtag in question will be SHINIESOFTHEWEEK. That is critical, because without it, it will be much more difficult to find your posts and hopefully feature them in the final part of our show, which we do every week. We never miss it. Since episode 3, I think it was, we first introduced that.
First Shiners of the Week, yeah?
Yeah. And now,
children, it's time for Getting to Know You with the Incensed Podcast.
I've got to be honest, the struggle is getting very real to try and find something that we can put into this section that we haven't already either done or is incredibly vague and weird. In light of recent events, shall we say, let's go no further, the question: do you fear change or do you welcome it? And I would say explain your thought processes and feelings behind your choice. Let's throw it over to Hydration Man first.
Change is necessary. People don't like change. We've learned that over the last 3.5 years, but change is necessary.
Pokémon GO.
Because if you don't change, if you don't evolve, then you never move forward. I mean, look at us as a podcast. We start out live recording on Zoom. It was awful. We changed to Riverside. We got used to Riverside. We became very comfortable with Riverside. We started streaming on YouTube. We became very, very comfortable streaming on YouTube. But Riverside offered us more opportunities to stream to our gold tier through the studio. So we've changed to that. There is an uncomfortable element there because people like to have what they have. They like that comfortable feeling. But to continually move forwards, change is necessary. You'll find that in any walk of life. Let's face it, if we didn't change, we'd still be living in caves, not houses. We'd be walking around, not driving cars. We evolved, so it's necessary, but people don't like it.
I think we'd probably be doing our podcast actually by the riverside.
We actually would be by the riverside, yes. Yeah, Mark would be one side of the river, you'd be the other, and I'd be about 100 miles north on the river.
You'd have to communicate with fire on top of the mountain.
Smoke
As a cave.
It'd be like Lost. It'd be like Lost.
Yeah.
See the smoke signals on the across the island.
So, yeah, the bottom line is, yeah, I know people don't like it. Let's face it, nobody likes change, but it is necessary.
Yeah.
Marky, what about you?
I don't like change really because I've got used to like contactless payment all the time now, and like having it in my pocket, it just gets in the way. You know, coins and that. I just don't like change. I misunderstood the question. Sorry.
I
Hey,
wonder where you're going with this.
Hey, the Joker's in the house. Get in there. Woo.
I'm the fun lord. What are you doing?
I knew you hadn't
what is
got that. I was
money?
like,
I don't even touch money anymore.
No, nobody
It's
handles
all
cash here in London.
Digital. It's all
Nobody
Apple
handles
Pay.
it. I mean, as a leader, as a manager in the business I work in, and having a good number of people that work alongside me, you know, the business needs to steer. You know, I need to steer the business, and people will react to it in different ways. And you know, I'm not going to say copy paste what Ian said, but you know, I'm a firm advocate in terms of change. I think you have to change, not for the sake of change, because when you do get things right, you have to enjoy it and embrace it. But it doesn't mean you stop looking, because eventually you'll need to, and if you haven't done the work in it, it'll become more painful.
You kind of get left behind, don't you, if you don't change?
A very good analogy I was used in my sort of leadership programs I've done over the years is, I used a Titanic example, not a good example, by the way, because actually we know what happened in that. But if you're in the deck underneath the bar, the boat in the layers, dancing around everyone, having a laugh, and living it up and doing that every day, you're just reliant on the things around you working. You have no concept of what's going on. But, that's great if things are going well. You need to be at the top of the viewing platform, looking ahead at all the things well before you're having to steer to sort of plot that route. And that is change focus. So I would change all the way, love change. I actually do love change as well. When I think about how change impacts me when it comes to me, because it is an up and down cycle. It happens to those above you as well as you're giving that to people around you. I don't like to use the word below. It's always around. I think that's really important there. You have to embrace it. But I do resist it as well. I'm not a rollover. If I think there's a reason why we shouldn't do it.
Change doesn't have its way with you.
But I don't react. You have to have a reason to challenge it. You can't just say it doesn't work if you don't have a reason. And you've always got to look at different ways to embrace it if it is it's forced and not sort of optional. But I'm like, Ian, I think we're on the same page, bud. I think we both get it. And I think I get why people are uncomfortable with it as well. Come on, Milo. Because you've gone from being not fun to very fun now. So you must have...
this is the funnest question we've had for a long time.
It is so fun. So fun. Possibly a bit more profound, but...
profound.
There's a word for your Scrabble game there, but change is very necessary, as both of you have said, and it's a huge part of life and personal development and external development, with whatever you're doing in your walk of life. For me personally, it doesn't stop it being terrifying to me. Just because of how I process and think through information, I am very much an overthinker. And I'm going to mess this word up, but a catastrophizer or something like that. A catastrophize every situation.
Oh, here we go. What's
like,
the word last week?
Find the biggest Scrabble word I can
Monochrome.
Find. Monochronic.
It was monochrome before.
Monochrome.
Catastrophizer or something like that. At least you can tag onto that, whereas monochromatic is a bit tricky.
Very true.
But no, I process information, think through almost every eventuality to the point where I think of things that are so ridiculous they're never going to happen, but they're whirring around in my brain, and it becomes very difficult to actually process what is the sensible route. So change just sort of triggers a lot of things for me, even though I know, hey, you've got to get through it. It will make things better more often than not, and it's incredibly necessary. But it's still quite a fearful process for me personally. And that's sort of why I asked this question, because change happens all the time. As you say, many changes throughout the development of this podcast over the last 3 and a bit years, and throughout what we've been doing, etc. And everybody who listens, has changes going on in their lives all the time. So that's why I asked this question. Something maybe a bit more thought-provoking and deep compared to the last couple of weeks. But thank you, boys. That was really, really good.
Was it reassuring or all on the same page?
Reassuring.
It sounded like an Ofsted report there, didn't it, Ian? Did you like that? That is good.
It's good. Couldn't be better.
I'd run out. I hadn't Googled any long words for that, so I'm really sorry.
Ofsted reports generally don't have long words in it, to be fair.
Outstanding.
No, we're dealing with teachers. They can't have long words in it.
Outstanding. Let's go for that, boys. Outstanding effort. But I do think it is very much time we need to lighten the mood. So I want to throw it over to Mr. 420. Come on.
Yeah, why not? Okay. That name cannot stick. I am definitely not Mr. 420. But anyway,
you're the one who wants to smoke Swaddle.
That's a 420.
I didn't say I wanted to smoke Swaddle. I just said Swaddle was eligible to be smoked.
You want to put Swaddle in brownies.
Swaddle brownies might be really nice.
It's a lettuce Pokemon. Leave it alone.
Plant-based.
There's lots of plant grass Pokemon.
Anyway, last Saturday was 420, the 20th of April. Yes, for anyone that isn't American, that's how they do it over there, month first. So 420 last weekend, and Pokédex number 69 was Bellsprout. It was the perfect meme community day. And I'm sure the three of us played it in very different ways.
Side note, did you guys notice that the dates that your Pokemon get caught at have changed to the American form?
Yeah,
they always have been, haven't they?
No, they haven't.
Have they not?
No, it changed a couple of weeks ago, and I hate it too.
And I thought that I'd misread it all this. I'm sorry, Ian.
Actually, you was quoting a Pokemon last week, wasn't you? You got the wrong date.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking, it's like there's definitely not 23 months in a year.
No.
We must remember Niantic is an American company, so anyway. Moving on.
Doesn't mean...
moving on swiftly. So
Taylor Swiftly.
Taylor Swiftly. Oh, don't start me off. Do not start me off.
Calm him down.
Mark Van Lommel, Taylor Swift. If you know, you know. Anyway, so despite it being a meme community day, actually I pretty much did enjoy it. Didn't need shiny Bellsprout. But what did frustrate me about the community today was how glitchy it was.
Yes.
And I think we can all agree, you tapped on Bellsprouts, they disappeared. The whole game I don't know if it was part of like the meme, but it was just the glitchiest community today that I've experienced, or I think any of us experienced, for such a long time, to the point where it was getting frustrating. But aside from that, perfectly adequate community day. The Bellsprouts were just like crazy numbers of shinies in such a short period of time. I saw a lot of people out for this one, which can only be a good thing. Marky, tell us your story.
Breaking news. Android has levelled against Apple because we have got Android users in the chat now on Riverside. So there we go. A goal alert.
Oh my God. Welcome in, Maz. Android.
Goal alert.
From a cross of iPhones.
Hang on. Milo.
That's a...
Yes, 2 iPhones. Yeah.
We need to do like you did with me last week. We do a little Ian Rewind going, Apple are no more superior to Android.
I'm going out there. I do actually have a work phone that's Android, so I do use Android.
Wash your mouth.
I just hate. I know. See, I
so
wash
do
my
I.
hands after using it.
Just wash my hands after using it, Ian.
Anyway, welcome in, Maz. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome. So,
back to 420.
Bellsprout Community. 1, I didn't know it was 420 because it's 24 over here. So that completely bypassed me.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Doesn't work. Second note, I didn't even realise it was the 69th Dex entry, Ian. I'd already had it in my Dex. I didn't even know the number behind it. But thank you for enlightening me about that. I did chuckle when I saw you share that with me on your lovely video that you did for your lovely vlog. So, you're welcome.
Lovely.
Lovely. How did I play it? I played it very casually. I didn't need it.
I think casually was probably the only way you could play this one, really, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. So I played it on my own. Sad times. Ash was
sad violin music.
Ash was in a lovely part of the UK, down by the coast. Far better experience, I'd say, than what I had.
Oh, he'll have had the beach background.
He would have had the beach, or maybe he's still down there. So he might have got his. Oh, he might have got his
Wiglet. Ooh.
He might get me a Wiglet. Oh, let's keep having crossed for a Wiglet.
Milo, go to the Thames. You can get me a Wiglet.
Yeah, I'll get a Wiglet from the Thames.
You get a dirty Wiglet from the Thames, I tell you that, mate. Oil-filled Wiglet. I played it very casually. I played a little game, which I like to do with these things. I guessed the star rating of the shiny because Ash did me dirty last time we played that game.
Oh, yes.
And I did all right. I kept the first couple and then didn't keep another one until right at the end. So it was a bit... Oh.
It is a rough game, that one.
It's because it's a 1 in 5 chance. You know, likelihood 1 in 4 chance, but it could be 1 in 5. And it really doesn't allow you to stack a lot of them up.
Let's face it. Optimistically, you're going to want the better ones, but realistically, you're going to be getting the trash ones all the time, but you don't really want to be saying 0 and 1 the whole time.
Exactly. So I said 2, and it was a 3, and I had to delete it, which was my best ever shiny Bellsprout.
Maybe you should have played rock, paper, scissors with yourself.
Yeah, I probably still lost it, knowing me. But I really did enjoy it, actually. It's a lovely Pokemon. Like I said, it's actually a really underrated shiny family. I saw a lot of people out playing it, which was really encouraging to see. And as we said before, and I certainly made a point about it, OG players are the only ones that are going to have these, potentially, if they played Kanto Tour. Potentially.
Kanto Tour is over 3 years old.
Absolutely.
It's weird to think.
And it was a Go Fest last year.
Yeah.
Global.
Absolutely. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I finished with 3 shinies, which, hey, you know, isn't the end of the world. I had fun playing the game. Got out about the weather was nice again.
I say it was not great up here.
Nice to be out. Well, that's because
you're in the north.
Ian lives in a different part of the country to us southerners. He's up in the north. Nah. But anyway, I digress. Enjoyed it. Really fun. I got some great. I got a hundo. I got my first hundo Bellsprout. It was nice. I got 2 nundos. which was even
Juicy
better.
catches, man.
But none of them shiny, unfortunately. And I got a bit of Stardust as well. And I think that was a nice little bonus. But
Aw.
very excited for May. I think we can move on from that now.
Poplio, that's all I'm saying. I will say, this community day, particularly backtracking, a community day that is triple catch dust, I don't really care what the Pokemon is. I will happily go and catch anything and everything because they're fairly easy catchy rates. You can delete the shinies, and the Stardust is kind of the main pull. I wanted to play hardcore for the community day.
Of course you did.
And
Of course he did.
had a few issues. One was the fact that O2 decided that 420 would be the day that major network problems happened. So for the first 40 minutes of the community, I had massive issues playing on Android, but that was O2's problems, not Android's.
Are you
We'll
sure
say
about that?
Positive, because we checked.
Ian, behave.
We checked, and O2 said, "Oh, we're trying to work to resolve this. I need to catch Bellsprout now." So when we switched back to EE on iPhone, I thought it was good. Sort of got into a swing of things until we started having those, "Ooh, your Bellsprout has fled," in the middle of the
You just tap on
encounter.
it, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
It goes poof when the Pokeball's in
Yeah.
midair, and I couldn't be bothered to check and see if I'd lost the
And the
Pokeball.
amount of balls
was
that
not
you
really the worst
wasted
thing.
actually throwing them at like ones that just
Well, that's it. I
fled.
don't know if it
Throw them at
registered
the
the
puffs.
Pokeball
Yeah.
throwing or
Well,
whether
I
it
was getting the glitch
like-
where you tapped on it and it would just like poof away before it even zoomed into
Yeah.
it. And then other ones where it brought them on up, you throw the ball, then it would just flee.
Yeah, puffed when you threw the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what I was getting. And there was a time, and it's very weird that it was just over this community day window. It was like one day, 420, 24, whatever. Great show, by the way. But
24, loved it. Damn it.
it just seemed very peculiar to have that glitch, because we have had it once or twice before. There was something else that happened to me, and it only happened once, and I think saw somebody else got it too. But this was a much rarer glitch where maybe us with the new background, I flicked into AR plus modes to try and get the shiny sparkles for a clip, and then all the textures broke on the screen.
I saw your screenshot. That didn't happen because I did that a few times and it didn't happen to me.
Yeah, and it didn't happen again at all. I don't know why it happened this time, but I just had the grass tufts over a white floor, then a pink stripe, and then just nothing for the sky. And the Bellsprout shiny was stuck on the screen. I wasn't
Need a new
able to
phone,
load the
mate. It's
encounter.
too old.
It was sat there doing its little dance thing with no hitbox, no Pokeball on the screen. I'm like, well, that was a lure spawn, so that shiny's gone, which is a real shame. I couldn't really grind too hardcore for it. So I was like, okay, in that case, I'm just going to sort of take it chill and enjoy the day. And it was a lovely day. It was a really lovely day. Got to see a big community surprisingly out for this one. People like Stardust. So
People
go
were out,
for
yeah.
it.
People were definitely out.
And we had, I think, 1 or 2 Hundos spawn and 1 Nundo that it may appear at the end of the show, depending if we read it. But good old Nakeem got the Schnundo Bellsprout.
You would have
I'll
mentioned
give
that.
a
Don't
shout
put
out
mention
to
it a
him.
second time.
No,
No,
I
well,
wouldn't mention it again.
Shout out Nakeem.
Hang on, let me
for
just play the
Schnundo
jingle for
Bellsprout.
him. 1 second. This one's specially for you, Nakeem. Your very own
Yeah.
special jingle.
Shinies of the week.
There we go.
There we go.
Congrats. Well done, Nakeem.
Well done,
Now
Nakeem.
moving on. Moving on.
He gets all the look, doesn't he, that boy?
Oh, So, do you know something else? And I didn't clock this until I saw a reel and somebody mentioned this. We've all made a comment about it being 420. It's Bellsprout, the community day.
I think everybody that makes content
It was the
reference that.
69th Pokemon in the Pokedex. Do you know something else? And it just went over my head whenever we read out the announcement. The exclusive move is Magical Leaf.
Magical Leaf, and we know what a magical
On
leaf
420.
is. Yes.
On 420. So it was like a triple dose of just meme. It was amazing.
They're not that intelligent, are they, really?
No, I actually think
Really?
somebody at 19 has got a sense of humour, and whoever came up with this community today, seriously, my hat
Somebody's
comes off
on
to
the
you.
ball with
Yeah.
that one. It's become customary, boys. I want to get a rating out of 10 for Bellsprout Community Day. Ian, what are you giving it?
I enjoyed it. I got more than I needed. The glitches did cause me a little bit of frustration, but you can't get too wound up on 420, so I'm going to give it a 7.
7 out of 10. What about March to full 27?
I love these 420 references, Ian. It's 20th of April, not 420. So on the 20th of April,
The
we have
24th.
That's the
Bellsprout
one day where it's
Community
420. You can say 420. It's like on the 4th of May. You can't say the 4th of May. It has to be May the 4th.
Yeah, like April the 20th.
4th may be with you.
April the 20th be with you.
I enjoyed it. Listen, I wasn't going to go hard on it. Stardust is a belter. The glitches were a little bit annoying. However, I don't hit these events hard. I don't grind them. And I think that's just a mannerism how I play this game most of the time. So I will give it a solid 7 out of 10.
7? That's
Nice.
two
Oh,
sevens.
We've got a double 7.
Are you going
And
to break?
I will join you in 7 out of 10
Hey.
because
Actually, you look a bit like Len Milo.
you've said this about me like almost every week. We've gone from Craig
A
Horwood
dolphin?
to
Wasn't
a
it?
dolphin. There was something
You
else.
see the
some
recurring
bug
pattern
or
here?
Something. I think
It
Ian
looks like
needs
a
an eye
dolphin, a
test
wimpod.
desperately.
Len.
All Ian sees on my camera is just a
Craig
blurred
River
shape,
Horwood.
so he can say,
Craig
yeah,
River-
Milo looks like Jabba the Hutt. Yeah, this
Oh,
week. I
well,
don't know.
If you're
Yeah.
lying sideways on your couch, maybe.
Milo.
Now you're just being rude. I need a few more pies in me
Do
to
you know
get
what?
that going.
Actually, I tell you what, Ian, I think you've got some in there. What do you reckon?
Seriously, he does.
It's
Can we get
Milo.
me off my face through the age?
Milo, just smile like that and say, I'm fun.
Yeah, go on, Milo.
No, he doesn't do that. Anyway, I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. Stardust is amazing. Great, best com day bonus. The whole lead up with 420, the Bellsprout Pokemon being 69 and all that jazz, great. Doesn't really matter. A lot of people needed the shiny. It was a fabulous day. The glitches, actually, I would have given it an 8, but the glitches pulled it down to a 7.
That's
for me,
what pulled it down
be
for me,
honest.
to be fair.
Yeah, so I guess out of that, one thing for sure is Niantic do like to make light of 420, because 2 years ago, boys, again, this was random fact I found on social media, 420 in 2022 was when they released Shiny Cherubi, and it was another 420 joke. They take an opportunity when it comes their
They're
way.
from Southern California. They love a bit of 420.
They've got to.
Yeah.
They've got to. However, some say that Niantic interns believe a Bellsprout is how churches are grown, and that their office plants are all called John. All we know is it's time to
Ask the intern.
I think it's only fitting that we go from something that's been well thought through, 420, 69, Magical Leaf, okay.
all that.
I buy that now, I buy it all, to something not as well thought through. And I think it goes to show how fun the rest of the world is.
Have you seen
Well-
in the chat, Mark?
So, so Sue says she gives some Community Day 4 out of 10. Lost the last few minutes of the com day due to a black screen, and also I never noticed it before. Milo's grin is a lot like Len Goodman's. So
There you go, folks. Guess what? Actually, we'll probably post that to our socials.
Oh, that'll be a short. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
that will be it. That'll be it. However, going back to the point is, I think we've realised that the rest of the world is more fun than us here in the UK, because one thing that happened in Pokemon Go is that the world got the Customise You update, and that meant that people could have access to the new avatar setup, which we have had here in the, I keep saying here in the UK. We've had access to this now for what, 3 weeks? It's been about that,
Yeah,
hasn't
3-4
About
weeks
that,
or so.
yeah.
it? Folks, as we
Yeah.
record this, we've never, ever, well, I certainly hadn't seen on social media some of the glitches, some of the, I'm assuming that's not safe for work combos, Milo, that you put there. Was it the NSFWs?
Nice.
Some of the combos people were creating were catastrophic.
Especially with the air guitar poses.
Yeah,
I saw one that, talking about Jabba the Hutt, actually quite apt, really, with the kind of gyrating
Yep.
with this.
yes. It was all the problems with the mini skirts
Oh,
and things. And they found that one pink skirt combo with one pose basically meant you could, see up it,
Yeah.
essentially. And everyone was like, this is ridiculous. Niantic went and patched it and put like
Like
black bicycle
black
shorts.
bicycle shorts underwear. Yeah,
cycling shorts on this avatar.
They can fix
post
things quickly,
specifically.
can't they? They can fix
Yeah,
things
they can
quickly
fix
when they
things,
want it.
but then they went through all the other ones and were like, so all the other options haven't been fixed. They fixed one thing.
Just
and they
fix
didn't
them
do
as
the other
posted on
stuff.
X.
It's like, okay, so this one's broken. Good. This one's broken. Good.
I mean,
Surely it's easy just to put a blanket like pair of cycling shorts on any avatar pose.
I saw I think we'll mention because she is a good friend of the show, Zoe. Zoe Two Dots put something quite funny on it, and she'd customised her avatar, and all she said was, "I can't. Everyone looks like I've got was it chipmunk cheeks or something like that
something
on
like
it."
that.
And I just looked at them and went, I mean, I'm going to say it how it is, right? I'm very fortunate, and I say this with a bit of just saying it how it is. I'm a white guy who isn't overly obese, isn't stick thin, who has short brown hair and sometimes doesn't have a beard and just lets my stubble grow. So 70% of the time, I kind of resemble my avatar in the game, right? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
The other 30% of the time, like now, I don't because there's no facial hair options on there. But I have seen some horrific before and afters on avatars. And people have woken up, put the game on how it was before, gone, oh my God, what is this? It looks horrific. And I've got to say, they've rushed this. It feels like they...
I don't think they have, but it just doesn't look finished.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably a fairer way.
It's been pushed to meet a deadline, which hysterically is how Pokemon Go started entirely, because they wanted to release, I think the word was in 2017, and they were pushed to go for summer 2016. And that's how everything started. They were pushed to a thing and the server problems and all that jazz. It's just rinse and repeat with this. It doesn't look well finished. We didn't particularly like it when we saw it in the UK. I mean, I've kept my full
I've
head
noticed
mask of Giratina
a lot
on.
of people are covering their faces because they can't bear the new avatar faces.
There was one meme I saw on social media where it had a photograph of 2020 with like a nurse in a face mask for COVID. And then 2024, and it was the Pokemon Avatar update with a face mask, and it said, "How times have changed." now people are putting them on in game to get rid of the horror, and not out of medical necessity.
Let's be honest. I think we can all see why Niantic have done this, because it does allow a lot more body types and a lot more personalization.
Yeah, combos.
But the new avatar pose, not necessarily the pose, the new avatar features aren't necessarily representative of a lot of players now, because they've taken the male and female options away. So now you have a very, very generic character that doesn't necessarily resemble a specific gender.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a few comments in the Patreon chat is, Sue, as always, good idea, poor implementation. 100% agree.
Kerry Young says, bunch of stoners.
Bunch of That's the Comdo reference.
That's the Comdo reference, not the Avatar reference.
I know, it's just funny.
My girlfriend hates her new Avatar. Whatever she does, she still looks like a man with boobs. So it's that problem of like, you can't get the customization right. I'm trying to think to an analogy where it would be, we've given you more options. So you go to a supermarket, we've widened our range of options in the fruit section, but all the options are like moldy, rotting fruit and terrible. And you look at it and go, I don't want to have any of this. Thank you very much. I don't need extra choice of terribleness. I'd rather keep it slimmed down and actually good.
It reminds me, like, it almost feels like they've gone like the dating profile way now with Pokemon Go. Like, people can meet up like on Pokemon Go dates and go, "You look nothing like your avatar."
Reverse catfish.
Reverse catfish.
Well, it's true, isn't it? Because like mine, for example, mine isn't too bad. Apart from like a lot of people say that the faces just look really lifeless on these avatars, but I couldn't find a skin tone that matched my old avatar's skin tone, because I don't want it to be super pale, but then the next option is like super dark. There's kind of nothing that meets that
in between,
slightly tanned but not overly tanned.
They should have a gradient
look.
Wheel. Really, it should be a gradient wheel and a color wheels and that sort of thing to make it properly customizable. And I guess we're just going to hope that they do make some patches and actually improve
another patch a lot of people saying is just give like a toggle so you could go back to your old avatar.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how much memory that would be, but that would be another option, because a lot of people are very, very disappointed with the way their new avatars look. And I was trying to customize mine to not make me fat, but give me a bit of a Clarkson belly. And then the only option was it gave me me boobs. I'm like, hang on.
Yeah,
I can't.
You can't increase the size of certain bits. You either just increase the size in general.
Yeah.
Of everything.
I agree. Like some of the comments, I do agree as well. I don't play Pokemon Go to look like real life. Get all that. I think Pokemon is basically anime, and they've taken that look away. Absolutely agree on that one.
Yeah.
I like the cute avatar
100%.
characters. I think they're quite something nice about the game.
The old ones were nice, weren't they? That's the thing.
They were. I mean, my new avatar looks more like a fetus than I do, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I agree with what Ian says. Actually, I said it's rushed. I think it's just hasn't been fully completed, and I generally find it interesting how this gets sort of, what's the word I'd use? Is how they almost manipulate this into making people think it's the right choice, because I haven't seen anything positive about it on this. You always go, if you look too deep, you'll only find the things you look for. But generally, I've tried to find positive comments about it. I haven't found any.
Yeah,
where anyone's gone.
One of the Niantic community managers has been sort of asking for feedback on this on X, both good and bad. But I would say, on the whole, a lot of the feedback from what I've seen seems to have been very negative.
Yeah, people are not a fan.
But it's a sign of the times, isn't it? Companies go so far to be inclusive that they make it exclusive.
I just find it really strange, Ian. You almost all look like you haven't got a gender in it, really, don't you? It's really strange because, what you said, when I tried to give myself a bit more, because I did it originally, I went, do you know what? I'm quite comfortable. I think it looks all right. And I said, I showed someone, have a look at this. What do you think? And as he turned, I said, Mark, you got boobs. What's that all about? I went, I have.
Yeah.
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
I said, better take them off. They're not that prominent.
Okay, bit of a move.
Bit of a move.
It's like, now I need to eat and be less exercise and fit in real life to match my in-game avatar.
I don't want to have a reminder of what the game thinks I look like. I just want it to be back, I just want it to be fun. I want it to have the crazy hair, the crazy anime look. I miss that with it. I'm waiting for the team leaders to turn into really poor versions.
Well, they did last year, didn't they?
Do you remember they did back in the day? And Blanche had some horrendous overbite or something. It was really weird.
All three team leaders were terrible.
Spark, bless him.
Candela looked the best, but again, none of them were good.
Yeah, Spark looked like he'd been hit in the head. It was kind of wild.
Sue just put,
I've seen what Susan. We can't really comment that in the show.
We could put duck quack over one specific word.
I have man hands and star boobs.
There we go. I've seen a lot of people commenting on the hands. Like somebody said, you can try and cover your face to mask the horror, but look at the hands. So, they look like something out of Jurassic Park. It's kind of wild.
I think that's enough on that subject, don't you?
I think so, yeah.
I'm going to sing the jingle for the song that we're going to be playing next. And this is a real life jingle. So, boys, are you ready to play a game?
Absolutely.
We are.
Wow. Oh, wow, Ian. I thought you were going to react then. Well, for our listeners, we're going to play a fun game. Are you ready for this? Shiny, happy Pokemon. Shiny, happy Pokemon. Oh. We are going to be jumping straight into a great game, Shiny, happy Pokemon. Now, normally, I will read out one for both people who are taking part in it, but we're going to spice things up this week because we're going to get it so all three of us can take part in the game, which is quite interesting. So this is going to be fun. And we're going to play first to three.
Okay.
First to three. So you might be out of luck with the order it goes, unfortunately, but that's just the way we're going to play it. But we've got to trust each other to go a little bit harder as we cycle round. I think that's fair. And what we're going to do is I'm going to start it by naming the shiny for Milo. Milo is then going to name the shiny for Ian. And then Ian is going to name the shiny for me. And then we'll go around like that. So all going to get a chance to play the game, which is a nice little twist on this one. So, are we ready, boys? Because I am going to start.
Let's go with this. I like this. Gets us all involved.
My phone's away, so I can't cheat, and my hands are on view.
Oh, very good, Ian. You'll find one. You'll memorise one.
My phone is down. Because I was getting ready for the next round, but I'm
we'll
off.
do that. That's a fair point. So, I'm going to start. And Milo,
yes,
my one for you is I want to know, on shiny Sandslash, what colour are its spikes on its back?
We're talking Kanto.
Kanto, yeah. Sorry, mate. Kanto. Yeah.
Spikes. Spikes go a bit. They're like red. They're sort of dark red.
You are correct, Milo. Very good.
Let's go with this. We're going to stick with Kanto. Ian, I would like you to tell me what colour is the main section, so the head, the back, and kind of the sides. What colour is Shiny Raticate?
Oh, I have no idea. You could have told you Rattata, but I'm going to stick with maybe the green.
I'm afraid that's incorrect, Ian. It is I'd say that's a red.
That's definitely like a red, yeah. Reddy orange, yeah.
Reddy orange.
I call it a chestnut.
I
Chestnut orange.
Couldn't
Chestnut.
tell you.
Sorry, Vasa, that's you.
That's all right.
I was rather hoping to stick with the same colour palette as the one from before.
No, but Ian's not out. He just hasn't scored a point yet.
That's so true.
Mm.
Yes.
Well, that's a good point. And I probably went to the next one either.
Hopefully
But anyway,
you'll keep
right, I'm
the
just...
score of this, Marky.
Okay, Mark.
Savassa.
Shiny Omastar is a great little sort of snail type, tentacly laden thing. What colour is the majority of its shell as a shiny?
That's quite tough.
That is tough. Cream?
It is cream.
Yeah!
Hey, he's got his point.
Woohoo! So, Milo,
Yes.
I'm now going to give you one. Pokemon.
Surstival 27.
Shiny variant for the game. So we're going to stay in Kanto. I'm not doing that for any particular reason.
Not an event
Just
going
feels
on.
fitting at the moment, doesn't it, really?
Are we rediscovering it?
We might very well.
Rediscovering the shinies.
Rediscover the shinies. I like how we've all stayed in Kanto. This is quite sweet, actually. So, Milo, I'm going to pick Vileplume as my Pokemon.
Ooh.
And I would love to know, what is the colour of its petals or its head? Petals from above, but the floppy bits as it jumps up and down on top of it. What colour are they, mate?
So for a horrible minute, I was picturing Victory Bell, which is completely the wrong Pokemon. The shiny Vileplume, I'm going to say they're orange.
I'm going to let that pass because they are a goldy orange colour, but they are orange.
Goldy orange.
So, Milo,
Sort of
that's
bronze.
2 points to you.
Good stuff. I think we've got to stick in Kanto now, really.
Feels right, doesn't it?
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's shiny wishy-washy. Ian.
If only.
Shiny Wiglet.
I was just thinking that shiny Wiglet.
Ian, we're going for Slowbro. Can you tell me the colour of the cloister on its tail as a shiny?
No.
Ian.
Pick a colour.
Purple.
If I'd said the body of Slowbro, you'd have been correct, but I'm afraid the cloister on the back is sort of a
Oh, it's like a tan.
yellowish
Yeah.
brown, like a tan beige.
Still on 0. Does that make you feel better, Ian? Does that make you feel better,
First
Ian?
to 3.
No.
First to 3.
No, it really doesn't. I'd rather play the old rules and have been disqualified
yeah.
rather than just be humiliated now.
Ah, we need the
So-
runtime, mate.
Ian looks downtrodden now. He's like, oh,
because I
Ian.
am.
Great work, shark, no more. Oh,
Okay.
it now looks like a lemon shark.
Lemon shark.
Okay, so Masterful 27.
Hello, Ian.
Sinnoh Legendary Heatran
Oh.
Oh,
is a gorgeous sort of closet love for a lot of people. What colour
Excuse me.
are the eyes of the shiny predominantly?
I hate this Pokemon. They're purpley pinky coloured, aren't they?
They are.
congratulations.
I hate Heatran, but
A lot of people say that, but they really don't.
I quite like Heatran.
yeah. So we are potentially into winning points territory, and Milo can take this if he gets this
I'm
one
just gonna
right.
forfeit. There's
It's
no point in even trying now.
difficult.
So I'm going to play it to the integrity of the game. So Milo, I love Magneton. It's a lovely Pokemon.
Yeah.
I would love to know what colour of the magnet-shaped pieces on Shiny Magneton predominantly. And I'm going to be very critical on this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I am.
Predominant colour.
Mm.
So obviously the balls go sort of a gold, golden balls.
Golden balls.
I think the magnet shapes, they go kind of a black colour.
If you'd gone anything other than black, I would have questioned it. I'm gonna give you it. I think they are a graphitey black sort
The
of colour.
graphitey black.
Yeah, so well done, Milo. That is the
Okay.
third point for you, and by unfortunate order of the game,
I think you've got to have one more to see if you.
No, Mark did say first to 3.
I
He
said
did
first
say-
to 3.
Well,
I said first to 3.
I've had 3 goes. You guys have had 2 each.
Well, that kind of defeats the object of the ruling then, because then you're going to have to keep going until somebody wins.
It just feels unfair.
I can take it. I can take
Because
it
I went
because
first.
we've changed the game this week. We've mixed it around. We've all had a part to play in it. Ian
Has been humiliated. Yeah.
yeah, don't
Thank
say
you for participating.
Thank you,
Thank
for
you.
that, boys. Yeah, thank
Oh,
you,
Ian,
Milo.
don't- Ian, don't hate me now. I can see it in your eyes.
I do. I
No,
really
it's
hate
me.
you.
It's me. That's all right.
I hate
Don't
you
worry.
both.
If I am Sir Game for next week, then you know what game is coming your way.
Depends if I define what game is played.
I will ignore your show notes.
Your shenanigans.
GG's,
Well done, boys.
Milo.
Lovely game and a lovely fresh rendition of shiny, happy Pokemon. And I guess talking about shiny and, I mean, Cleffer's happy. It looks like a little happy, shiny baby Pokemon. We're just going to sort of dive into an open chat about Cleffer Hatch Day, because for us recording, it won't have happened, but by the time this show airs, vast majority of the world will have probably hatched a shiny Cleffer or 2, and, you know, we won't be able to report on it until next week officially. So we're going to talk about Cleffer Hatch Day, if we've got any
I've
ambitions.
just hatched a shiny Togepi.
Wrong Pokemon, but fantastic.
Well done, Ian. Have you just hatched that now?
Yeah, I've been walking
Oh,
it.
your drift is kind to you, sir.
It's got to be an old 2K, though.
It must have
It's
been.
an old 2K. Well, there you go. Ian has hatched a shiny, just as we were talking about
Doesn't make
hatch
up for
days.
being humiliated on the show, but
Oh. The
It's not a
listeners
bad
have
stat.
moved on
It's not
from
too
that
bad.
now, Ian, but if you want to
I
keep
haven't,
bringing it
yeah.
back to their forefront.
I'm spiraling.
So let's just talk briefly about Clever Hatch Day, since people are playing it, we're not yet. What would we want? Do we need the shiny Cleffer at all? Like, I don't know, Ian, since you've hatched a shiny, do you need the Cleffer? Will you
I-
be chasing or hatching?
Funnily, when this information was dropped to us and Cleffer Hatch Day was announced, I was not over the moon. I thought I'd got a shiny Cleffer. Going through my decks, I actually don't. It's one of those ones where
really?
you kind of just think you have, but you haven't. So I'll take it. You know, it's not something that I'm probably going to walk for the whole 3 hours of the event unless my luck is really bad. But the fact that we've got the overlying half hatch distance bonus means that we are going to burn through these incubators and eggs very quickly. And if I don't hatch one within the first hour of the event, I think there's going to be something really quite wrong, to be honest. So looking forward to it. It's certainly nice to be given access to these babies, because some of them, again, I honestly thought I'd got one. I didn't. I seem to have all the others, so it'll be nice to have the chance to hatch one and just finally be done with Cleffer and put it in the back seat.
Now, I'm going to let you into a little secret, and Ian, I want to play a game with you, one that you might win.
Don't start.
Through bad luck, this is through bad luck.
Flex it up, flex it up.
I too have not got shiny Cleffer, and I was curious to see how many Cleffers I'd hatched. And I don't know if Cleffer's been shiny since release. Has it?
I don't know, it hasn't. 'Cause
Hasn't,
it was
no.
the Gen 2 baby Pokemon were released quite early from memory, and then the rest of Gen 2 dropped after them, perhaps. I'm not sure.
I'm curious, Ian, how many Cleffers have you hatched?
Only 70.
Ooh.
70 for you. Well, I've hatched 110 and not had the shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
And Milo, how many have you hatched?
I have hatched
1200.
189.
189, yeah?
189, and I have had one shiny.
There we go. So it's interesting, because I was the same as you, Ian. I looked at this and went, I've got Cleffer. And let's be honest, right? For content creating, hatch events are brilliant.
Yeah.
They're simple, but they're fun. People love the uncertainty of egg hatching.
Yeah, the randomness.
And the good thing is to see it, it's clear. So when we do it, now the sparkles don't show up at the moment when they do the egg hatching. It's clear. It's got the little green tips on its head.
yeah.
So that's nice. But this event also got me thinking about other Pokemon. I still haven't got a shiny Pichu, which is mental.
Have you?
And-
Oh,
That is
wow,
wild to
okay.
think.
And I've hatched 211 Pichus. I still haven't got a shiny Pichu.
Jeez. And with all the event bits that have happened as well.
I only have 2 shiny Pichu.
And I know it's been an event. I know when it has its little hats come on, it's stayed shiny eligible. But it did get me thinking, like you said, Ian, it is very nice that they're giving us the opportunity in these hatch days. I know it hasn't just been the babies, but it's nice that they're almost ticking them off now, aren't they? Because we had
Seems to be, yeah.
Elekid and Magby with their community days.
Their community days, yeah. Technically Budju with the Roselia community day too.
Absolutely.
Toga P, Toga Tick community day. Sorry, I had to get it in there.
Yeah, but they were there, weren't they? And that added something. Yeah. I mean, they've given us some, and I hate to use it, but I will use it. They've given us some bangers as well, haven't they? Riolu was that was brilliant.
Riolu was really good, and Azurill was the other one, wasn't it?
Azurill.
Yeah.
So
that was another baby that I didn't actually have until the hatch day.
That was it. So I think Pichu would be one they'll do. I can see that happening.
The babies make sense, though, don't they, realistically, because they are egg locked.
Yeah.
And there are quite a few to burn through.
Absolutely. So I will be playing this for as long as I can to get maybe a couple of these. And I've had good luck, to be fair, on hatch days so far. Even on the community day ones, I've always managed to get the ones that I've needed. But I am, very excited for this, actually. Very excited for it. And that is that on the day we drop, isn't it? It's Sunday, isn't it?
Sunday,
it is. It's right now, potentially, for some listeners. And we hope you're having all manner of success.
Or yesterday if you was in Australia.
Yeah, or if you're listening to this podcast, God knows when down the road. Hope you had a good event.
Igglybuff as well. That'll be one, won't it, potentially? Igglybuff.
Yeah, potentially,
possibly will be. So for me, I obviously have one shiny. It was the 96th Cleffa I hatched, got me the shiny, which sort of sits with egg hatch ratio shiny odds. They're sort of roughly a 1 in 64-ish, but obviously sometimes the RNG can go a bit over. I know there are people who've hatched 300 plus eggs to get one of the baby shinies. They are some of the more difficult Pokemon to obtain because they've always been in a pool of Pokemon in an egg. And as always, with seasons and rotations, that pool of Pokemon adjusts every 3 months, roughly.
Yeah.
So sometimes there were times when the baby Pokemon weren't even in eggs for a long time. So there was no way to get them, which was very peculiar. I will definitely hatch the eggs for this event. I mean, it's one of the best ways because they are boosted shiny ratios. There's massive shiny boost on this. So even if you go infinite incubator only, it's half egg distance, which is great. You should be able to hatch a fair few eggs if you're exploring, let's say.
Well, we say that if you have the incubators, you'll get one from the research. But even if you're on the single incubator grind, in a 3-hour window, you've only got to walk 1 kilometer per egg. So you potentially can, I would say, maybe hatch 9 or 10.
Yeah. And as we've seen in these events, these shiny rates, because they're eggs, are typically a 1 in 10 or so. They're a bit like a raid day. So RNG is going to play its own factor in it. I would like to try and hatch a shiny or two and see how it goes and just try for something decent on the IV. But pulling it back to that conversation about hatch days as a concept, we've now got 3. This one obviously happening now, Azurill in the past, and Riolu, which is probably one of the better ones, let's be honest. Some have been chucked in with community days, as you said, Mark, with things from the past. Are we a fan of hatch day events? Because from where I sit, I think they're a great event along the same road as a raid day, in a sense that they're a facet of the game, but they're a facet of the game that you have to kind of put money and coins into if you want to really maximize on it, which not everybody does. What are your thoughts, Vasa?
It's like with anything in this game, there's a free-to-play aspect. You can go out, you can just incubate with your infinite and hatch as many as you can with that. Or you can throw some coin at it, and if you're going to do it, and it's too late now because you'll already be playing the event, or it'll be over, but clear your egg storage by Saturday, and then don't go spinning or opening gifts until Sunday. Make sure you start with empty or nearly empty egg storage, because the last thing, and I've heard so many people say this over the sort of the course of these egg events,
I started, they've got 12 Ks or 9, 10 Ks.
And you do not want to be starting one of these events with an inventory full of high kilometer eggs, because you're going to spend half the event just trying to clear your stack. The concept of a hatch day, I love. I love a raid day, I love community days, and I do enjoy a hatch day. Purely because, yes, you are solely reliant on RNG, but you know what you're pretty much going to be hatching because the eggs predominantly are the one that you want. So it takes a lot of the element of randomness out, and you're just dealing with shiny odds then. And history has proven, certainly for me, that if you persevere and keep going, you will get them. Having said that, I have been with other people on hatch days who have hatched almost as many eggs as me and didn't get the shiny, which in itself does prove very frustrating. So RNG is so difficult to live with at times. It's a fickle mistress. But in terms of the concept of an event, I love it. It's great.
I love the risk on a hatch day because the risk is a lot lower than normal egg hatching. So we do talk about this. Whenever I get a 5k egg now, it kind of just sits there, kind of look at it and go, I'm going to have to hatch you at some point because these events will come round. But it also sits there until those events do come round. They don't really do a lot, the 5k eggs. I know the 2ks, people can say the same, but you can get rid of them quite quickly on your infinite incubator. Yeah. However, I do agree. You have to be very, very unlucky, and you must have done something bad in a past life if you don't hatch a shiny on a hatch day and you play it to the maximum opportunity, and you're right, you might have to throw a bit of coin at it. Most people could do the incubator route, the infinite incubator route with the half hatch distance bonus, which is on it. And in 3 hours, probably hatch 7 or 8, maybe 9,
easily.
depending on how active you
on
are.
the move the whole time.
And because of that, you've got a good chance. I got very lucky on Azurill, and I got very lucky on Riolu. In that format, which are the most recent ones that we've had, it felt like I got the odds right to how it played. It was about I think I got about 1 in batch of 9 I hatched from
and if
memory.
You think back, Mark, the previous hatch days haven't had the reduced hatch distance, and we've always said that this would be the thing to go along with it to make it a better event.
Yes, I'd actually forgotten about that. You're right.
You are right.
Riolu didn't have reduced egg distance.
Neither did Azurill.
I'm up for that. I think that's fantastic. It's been a while since we've had one. So it is a nice reminder, and I think these are great Pokemon choices. I know we've already said that beforehand, but yeah, I love a hatch day. I think the beauty of a hatch day is you can put into as much as you want, or you can put into it as less as you want. But it's a bit like anyone can take part in it, and they have control over how they play it.
It's like raid days, isn't it? You can use your free passes.
Yeah,
100%.
What about you, Milo? Are you good? I'm assuming you love them as well.
Yeah, I like a hatch day, and I agree with everything you guys have said. Really, I'm not going to repeat it because there's no point in that. It's one of the best opportunities, particularly for these baby Pokemon, to not only get the shiny, but to get a decent one that you can then evolve up. But if you look down the road, there are definitely shinies that people will have missed out who have come to the game since Johto Tour. People, as you mentioned, may not have shiny Igglybuff or somehow Togepi if they didn't do the community day, etc. And then going further down, there's Buddew if they missed the Com Day back in 21. I will say, and we've obviously seen complete confirmation, and it makes sense, these hatch days aren't going to come around as frequently as raid days, because raid days, there's vastly more Pokemon they can put into the format. Hatch days, it's got to be baby Pokemon, really.
Or egg-locked Pokemon, realistically.
Yeah, egg-locked Pokemon, potentially. But a lot of egg-locked Pokemon have started coming to wild events and spawns. Timber Com Day, Shinx Com Day, Rockruff in the wild in one of the events, or was that Go Fest this year? I forget.
Yeah.
So those will be other avenues, but this is the only way to get
babies
Pokemon.
Have never been in the wild, to my recollection.
No, and they won't ever be. So this is going to be the only event really to maximize on that shiny boost. And it's a weekend event, making it a 3-hour window, something special. Even if you can't do the actual hatching on the day, you can just log in and spin and collect some eggs before 5 p.m. when it finishes. Because we've had that before where you pick up the final batch at like 2 minutes to 5, and then you can hatch them after, and they have the same shiny ratio because they're the eggs from the event.
The mon is based on when you actually collect the egg.
Yeah. So you can get a little bit in there even if you can't play during the window. So I'm down for them, and even if they're fairly infrequent, they should be pretty solid. But moving away from hatch days, sticking with eggs, because for us it's only day 2, of Sustainability Business Week. We talked about it on paper. Have you guys had a chance to sort of have a look at the event and what it has to offer? And if so, what are your thoughts now we're sort of a couple of days into it?
It's really funny, this, actually. I don't want this to be where my head is with the game at the moment, because I've just said I'm looking forward to Hatch Day. Had a great experience on Community Day. Loving the game, loving the changes in it. But actually, I didn't realise Sustainability Week had started until I saw you posted your vlog on Monday evening. That's what I mean. I saw you post your vlog and I went, oh, that started today. And I realised I hadn't been in the game all day on Monday, unlike me, because I normally, and to be fair, I had spun stops before it had started. I hadn't actually played it on the first day. So today, as we record this, is the first day that I've kind of been playing Kanto Tour, which is what it feels like it is at the moment.
Yeah, Rediscover Kanto.
Rediscover Kanto. And I'm working through the tedious Rediscover Kanto research side. Now, I did get a bit scared because when I tapped on the bottom, I saw that new symbol, which was the Kanto Pokédex.
Oh, with the little research coming out of the...
That scared me somewhat. I went, what is this? I went, oh, it is Kanto. It is definitely coming. It's definitely sticking around.
It's a new animation in the game.
It doesn't offer anything, this event, for me. And I'm guessing, and Milo, I'm sure you'll correct me on this, the very ridiculous collection challenges which form part of this event, where you've got to get a Trubbish and as I call it, a mole dude.
Yeah, mole dude. I like that.
And evolve them to complete those bits. Are they in the 2 kilometre research things? Are they the ones locked behind walk 2 kilometres?
From research, aren't they?
One of them is.
Yeah, Trubbish is research. Or eggs.
Trubbish is explore 1K.
Right, so the 2Ks I've kept, 'cause I didn't know what they were in, they are all Drillbur encounters.
Yes.
Brilliant. So I've got my Trubbish from Spotlight Hour tonight. So that bit tick. But my Drillbur is in the walk 2 kilometres. Fantastic. That is all the event has in it as far as I can see.
Or eggs. They're in eggs as well, Marky.
Oh, eggs. And good time to clear them down, Ian, actually. That's very good ahead of Sunday. Just need to clear the old ones down first. Okay, that's cool. So that's it, though, isn't it? It's eggs and...
That's it, basically.
Eggs and research.
Eggs and still research.
Yep.
Ian, what do you think about the locked new Pokemon in Beachland? That's a bit... I get why it is doing that, but it's a bit of a shame.
It's your bio,
man. I hate to be this person and be negative, but this is the worst Sustainability Week we've had since this event was launched. We touched on it last week because there's no wild spawns. Yeah, okay, Wiggler is available now, and there are shiny boosts on the pretty good mons in the eggs. But again, you've got to hatch eggs to do that. I have hatched a few eggs. I've done a few research tasks, and no luck so far. I've got to say, I'm not really going to sugarcoat it. I'm underwhelmed.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly, to be honest.
I noticed you stole for your... We don't talk about our own personal content, but I noticed for your Sustainability Week vlog, you borrowed from our episode about another week previously where you put week with an A rather than an E.
Yeah.
Binacle, Ian. Joke. Binacle from research.
Oh, yeah,
tasks.
Bicycle.
Catch 5 Pokemon.
Yeah, Bicycle.
Yeah, Binacle is one I thankfully don't need because I did get my fill last year of those, but great shiny.
Yeah, and then there's Combi and Fungus as other options in there. For one of them's Catch 10 and one of them's Hatch an Egg. Where I'm standing, I have played the event for a couple of hours on Monday and sort of passively today. Initial thoughts were really poor. The saving grace, in my view, and this is sort of looking at it very much trying to find a needle in a haystack of comfort, there are 3 Stardust boosted Pokemon out of those 5 Pokemon available. So if you're going to grind dust, you can do the Trubbish, Combi, and Fungus tasks, stack them, and then just catch more on the start piece. So it's good Stardust gains. The other thing is, from my experience tonight, it does seem that there isn't a genuine shiny boost on those 2Ks. Because I've hatched, 36 eggs. Of
course you have.
That's 4 batches.
Of course he has. Of course he has.
Yeah.
2 batches on Monday, and then 2 batches today. And today, I hatched a shiny Bicycle from one of them, and then a shiny Trubbish from batch number 4 of the week. So I was like, 2 shinies out of those batches of eggs. That's the best shiny boost on eggs I've seen outside of a hatch day. Even better than Tools and Go Fest from my experience. So there might genuinely be a shiny boost in there.
And there is. They said there was.
I know, but usually it seems to be sort of like a hidden detail of like, there's a shiny boost. Is there really? This time from my perspective, it may just
RNG,
be me.
baby. RNG.
It could be. So that was cool. But yeah, I don't know if you boys mind this, but I found a post on X that details the Sustainability Week evolution through the years. And you can take a listen to this and how this year is just catastrophically awful.
Ask the intern.
We've already had that one, but anyway. 2018, it wasn't actually called Sustainability Week, but in 2018, Shiny Whelmer was released. Ground, grass, and water type Pokemon in the wild, and 3 times catch dust on those specific typings. 2019's Earth Day, if various global targets were met, Shiny Diglett was released, 2 times catch dust, 2 times catch candy, ground Pokemon in the wild, and Groudon in raids for the event. Then we had a bit of a break until we got to 2021. Bicycle made its debut. Shiny Trubbish was released, if global goals were met, more frequent legendary raids, a free bundle with 3 remote raid passes and 2 times catch XP. 2022, 420 back in the day, was Shiny Cherubi released, Orangaroo debut, event Pokemon in the wild. For every trainer that completed timed research, Niantic would plant 1 tree. So that was a very do-gooder thing. Last year, 2023, had Bounsweet debut, Shiny Drillbur released, 5 different buddy bonuses, event Pokemon in the wild, Shaman special research for free, and Incubator and Poffins in boxes. This year, buddy bonuses, hatch some 2Ks, and research tasks. Look at it go.
It's a devolution, isn't it?
It really is. There's like all 5 previous events have been insane, and this one, I guess we can blame Kanto. Can we blame Kanto?
I think we can blame Kanto, to be honest, because if it wasn't rediscovering Kanto, there might be some wild spawns.
Let's blame Rediscover Kanto for that thing, I think. So
we're going to do a round table on this then, right, boys?
Oh, do we want...
I think we should, really. We've played it for a couple of days now.
Yeah.
Come on. Vassar, what is your score out of 10?
5. It's not great.
Okay. Distinctly average. Marky?
I've got to say, thanks for refreshing my mind about how this event seems to have gone backwards. I think you're right, Ian. I think the Kanto aspect of it, it's a bit like Bug Week with the Mega Heracross put into it. It's kind of diluting this event by having the Kanto theme.
Mm-hmm.
But if we take the Kanto out of it and look at what's available, oh my God, I struggle to give it more than a 5. I might even go a 4 on this one. I really do feel that. But I haven't hatched any eggs yet. But we'll revisit this next week.
We will do when we've played the event. Well, but so we say it's business week, so we may not. I can't give this thing more than a 4.
Oh, wow.
Because
I thought I was being savage.
It's that lack of things that you can do.
It's 2 times as better. It's 2 times better than the last event, Ian. We gave it 2.
That's true. Yeah.
The points that the things that boost it up are 3 of those 5 Pokemon are Stardust boosted, so you can Stardust grind if you want.
So it would have been lower.
Task,
is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, potentially. There are 5 different tasks, so you can kind of see which Pokemon you're going to get. And the 2K eggs do seem to genuinely be shiny boosted somewhat. And that boost bled over to Trubbish Spotlight Hour because people were getting tons of them, which was insane
What's
to see.
a Spotlight Hour? I just don't seem to recognise between 6 and 7 o'clock most days.
Nah, don't blame you, Ian.
How unfortunate, Vassar. You missed out on the sort of graphite.
Like I've said,
bluish
not every event is for
bag.
everybody, and I can't play them.
Today was a good one for Trubbish.
I won't Milo. Stop it.
Just rub it in,
before next week's. So yeah, that's a 4 out of 10, a 5 out of 10, and are you going for a 5
no,
or
I think
4?
it was 2 5s.
4.
Oh, did you go 4?
I'll go 5. I said 4. Let's go 5.
There we
Let's
go.
go 5.
2 5s out of 10 and a 4 out of 10. So guys, I know we were talking about hatching eggs a lot, but it looks like something is hatching underneath Mark's desk. Is that? So weird hearing it without them.
That's new. That is new. That is completely new.
Is that my
Have you
pole?
got a tree falling? Have you got a tree falling and a fly
Yeah,
undoing?
because the last jingle kind of had an NSFW. Some people have said ending to it. Then I kind of had to change it.
Is that how massive it is
The
now?
creak of it.
Actually
Chopping
fallen
Mark's
tree.
pole down.
Is that sustainable?
Depends
It's
what they do with
Sustainability
it, I
Week.
guess.
There you go.
They're meant to be growing trees, not cutting them down.
Yeah.
For every mighty oak we fell, we're planting 10 new ones.
Oh my God, they multiply. Mark's poll.
Is it that Fantasia scene with Mickey Mouse and the axe, isn't it, on the brooms, isn't it? Every time chops it back, does it? Another one grows.
Fantasia, yeah.
Fantasia, that's it. Fantasia. Milo, Google that. You'll like that one.
I will have to.
Milo, watch Fantasia with a bit of 420.
Yeah.
Oh God,
You'll be freaking out, Milo. Oh my days.
I can't wait.
So we went to the poll. My poll was put on display, as it always is, on a weekly cycle.
As it was felled.
And simply we just said was, so, change. What do you think? With a little inquisitive face. We had 51 people on the poll tonight. We'll read the scores out first on the doors of the results, and then we'll share some of the comments between us. But
Let's go for
in third place with 25%, no opinion on change.
Everybody has an opinion.
Fair.
You people lie.
Well, 31% of the people aren't lying because they fear change.
Mm-hmm.
Fear camp.
Fear camp. Which makes me think we've got quite a risque bunch of listeners because the majority of 43% welcome change. We like
Good
that.
for you.
That's good. That's good. That's
Nice.
good. So I'll start at the top. And Lucy Davis, level 50 trainer now. Change can be annoying and horrible. People like routine. Yeah, I see that. I see that, to be fair. I see that.
Definitely.
Mark Bailey said, change is good. It can refresh things or refocus things. Don't let things go stale. Completely agree with you there, Mark. Pokemon GO wise, okay, let's go there, shall we? The avatars needed a change, but maybe not the overhaul they got. But gotta try and look at the positives. There's 2 types of long hair now.
Anyway, we got a nice GIF from Nakeem Brown. And I think this is quite poignant considering the Avatar update. It is a GIF of Stewie Griffin from Family Guy with a hole in the house. It's, I don't like change.
There's a couple of funny references to where they went down my angle a little bit on this. I do like this one.
I see that.
B. Jerry's put, do people still carry change? With a laughy face. And our resident Barside too, I might as well tag it as one, has put a nice GIF. We do like a GIF of people, well, it looks like they're passing change on to someone else. They're sharing
I thought that was answer for a second.
I did as well.
Pass the change.
So, personal life insurance. Get your claim before it's too late.
They're paying a parking ticket.
Looks like kronas or something. It might make sense. It's American currency. There you go. International.
So we're almost there. A couple more to go through. Our very own Hermes Ninja Sue, I don't know what we'd do without her, our admin for the podcast. I don't love change just for the sake of change, but if the reasons for the change are explained and make sense, I'm all for it. Got to move on, move up, you know.
Yeah, got to move forward.
But I'll finish off with Sanjay Schmosbeer, who is the tequila man. He's put, I'm an old man set in many of my ways, but I need to get out of this rut. There might be a lyric there. Sounds like a song lyric. But thank you, everyone, for voting. We've got a good mix there. As Ian said, a quarter of our people on the poll were lying. So don't lie next time, please.
To themselves.
If you're listening to this.
You gotta be honest with yourself. Nobody has no opinion when it comes to change. I can guarantee it.
Absolutely. And speaking of things that never change, I think, boys, it's time for us to write that tree for next week and jump
So I can
into
chop
our
it down again.
Yes.
Ian.
It's renewable wood. That's what it is.
Renewable wood.
But I think we definitely need to jump into our favourites section of the show.
Happy or cringy?
I'll rock, paper, scissors you for it. Just
on,
go for
Ian always goes rock.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, Ian and Vassafal have both drawn. Ian and Vassafal's the same person. Milo and Ian have both drawn paper. Re-throw them.
This is a narrated game right here. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, Ian's put his scissors out, but Milo's got his rock out. Milo wins.
Excuse me. I'll get my rock out and the wood's falling. What on earth is going on this week?
Ian's got his pointy scissors out.
Play the jingle, Vassa.
Shines of the week.
Okay, so my first one in this revamped Shinies of the Week section is from Matthew Wills04. I was listening to episode 167 and shocked to hear at Casual Coops is leaving the Incensed podcast. Was pretty sad to hear the news, but I was stoked to get the shiny of the same colour as your hair. Going to miss you. Thank you for being you, and so damn funny. Hashtag Shinies of the Week. And it's actually named a shiny Combi as Casual Coops. But he also did have, they're also with the blue hue, so from literally the same sort of time frame, a shiny Teddy Ursa and a shiny Binacle as well.
Nice.
GG's, Matthew.
GG's indeed. I want to give Quigs75, train level 48, a shout out. I think this is his first
New
time.
Jersey crew.
Yeah, is it? Oh, nice one, Quigsy. Nice one, Quigsy, 75. Shiny Sandale, exclamation mark. I've always loved Sandile ever since I played Pokemon Black, my first Pokemon game. Super happy to get it so fast. Pretty quick, to be fair. I am also in the Shiny Sandile Club, but it's all about you tonight, Quigsy. And that's hashtag Pokemon Go, all the good stuff. But more importantly, hashtag Shinies of the Week.
Fabulous. Very rare shiny. I'm going to dive into our campfire community. We've got Lucy Bulb here. Hashtag Shinies of the Week. Listening to Casual Coops' last show, I caught this during Spotlight Hour, and yes, it was Trubbish Spotlight Hour tonight, a 770 juicy CP shiny Trubbish. Congratulations.
GG's, that's it. Rub it in. I'm actually going to stick with the campfire for my second one. Grumpy Cricket 83. Yeah, we've referenced you before, purely because of the name, but it's Cricket with a C. Hashtag Shinies of the Week from a remote invite from Molly Nellist. Molly does bring the shinies just like our podcast does. It's the shiny Tapu Bulu. GG's.
That is good stuff. That is good stuff indeed. I'm going to read these. They're about a week or so old, but I do want to keep Instagram alive with Shinies of the Week. One of them's quite got some funny references, but no, we're not. It's easy to go down the faith route. Sorry, Jace Hawkins 75. Keep posting them. I will read yours out next time. I promise you. But Dapper Dramper, another new person, has used our Instagram hashtag Shiny Tyrant. Not a bad couple of days of hatches.
Nice.
And catches. There was Shiny Tyrant that I've just mentioned. Shiny Meowth from the eggs as well. Galarian Meowth. That's golden colour. And name trades. They must have done very well. A shiny Wimpod in there. Lovely to see that one. But more importantly, using that hashtag Shinies of the Week. Brilliant.
Lovely stuff.
And to wrap up, I think it's customary considering 420 was last weekend. I'm going to pick W12 Ace on X at Incensed Podcast, hashtag Shinies of the Week. Just missed out on the Shundos at Walpole Park Community Day event, but did manage 2 fantastic trades and this Research Task 98 Shiny. Hope everyone had a great event and smashed the Stardust Run. Yeah, managed to bag a Goku Bad, so 14 attack, 98, but fabulous. Congratulations, and thanks again for coming down to play in Ealing. Very
nice guy. Big shout out. We love you. You do follow the podcast. Good supporter. Follow it. We do like that.
So thank you so much, everyone who sent in those hashtag Shinies of the Week, and there were so many more across all of our platforms. We really do love seeing them all posted our way. We can't read all of them, but we do love to hear from you, and we try and reply to them. And speaking of hearing from you, you can be a voice on the show by sending in a WhatsApp message, can't you, Ian?
Yes, you can. And the way you do that is really simple. You need to store this number in your phone. It's +44 759 269 5696. Once you've done that, go into WhatsApp, put our number in, push the record button. I think you hold it down, record your voice message. We have had a lot of text messages through to that one, but it's your voices we really want to hear, so we can get you on the show. And once you've done that, we will play your voice message on the phone. It's a voice note. It's free. You're not calling and leaving a voicemail. Doing this is free as long as you have data. And if you do that, you can be just like Pen Pal Simon.
No.
Yo, it's long-time listener, many-time caller, PayPal Simone here. Couldn't hear the news that Casual was leaving without just Oh God, it's sad, isn't it? It is very, very sad.
That's so sincere.
I'm hoping that he hears this. I'm sure he will. Like yourself, mate. Life is very, very busy at the moment. I'm in a very different place to what I was a year, 2 years ago, and Pokémon GO and associated podcasts has taken a bit of a back seat. But I do still keep my ear out for the show and listen every Sunday. And just heard the news last night that you were leaving, and it is sad, mate. I feel very, very, very sad. I'm going to continue listening to the three boys without you, as per most of the episodes have been anyway lately. And I just wanted to wish you well, mate, and genuinely thank you. Like you know, everyone has ups and downs in life. At the moment, things are going good for me, but that's not always been the case over the time I've listened to the podcast. And your cheeky little voice, your laughter and cheerful nature, like genuinely has picked me up at times, as the other three of you have done as well. So yeah, like best of luck in love and life, mate. I do hope that our paths will cross again at some point in the future, and we can share a pint, a non-alcoholic one in my case. I've completely given up drinking. It's another story for another day, though. But yeah, look,
me too.
Ian's going to flip when he sees this is 2 minutes long. So, but it's a big life event in our relationship together and on the journey we're on together, boys. Best of luck, Casual. Much love, everyone else.
Thank you very much for sending that in. And I'm sure
Simon.
the Casual in question will hear it. We've talked about change ourselves this week. That's why the question was asked. Just glad to hear that you're doing well. It's good change for the better.
I feel like we've gone from balance to change now. Do you know what I mean? It's joined the Clean Living Brigade there with you, Vassafal.
Seriously, I haven't touched a drink, actually, funnily enough, since Portsmouth. Not a single drop of alcohol that hasn't been in cooking, so...
His air fryer.
Let's face it, if you're going to make a steak and ale pie, you put the ale in, but you're burning off all the alcohol.
Ian,
so,
I love you.
Like if you're putting wine in sauce, you're burning off all the alcohol.
I love you. That's all I'm going to say.
It's true.
It's true.
Ask any chef.
It's true. It is true.
I think we'll save Ian on this one. But yeah you can be like PayPal Simone on that one. You can send your
That's
WhatsApp.
the change he was talking about.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Simone.
You can be a voice on our show with that WhatsApp voice message if you wish to, and you can follow us on our socials
and
as
boys,
well.
look at the chat. Sue is saying, I'm right.
What, ale
It's
in,
not
ale in
drinking
pie.
alcohol by putting alcohol in your cooking.
Ale in pie. It burns off the alcohol. Look, Ian, it's okay. We didn't ask you to justify.
I knew you were right. It does not surprise me that you're right. You're always right.
Justify.
I'm not always right.
Majority of the
I found
time.
out earlier in the game when I'm still...
He might be wrong on the
podcast.
cooking, but
Ian is
wrong
always
in
right.
life.
Can we get Cooking with Cascada?
Oh, Ian Cascada
Published.
Cooking.
An Incensed podcast.
Maybe. New channel.
Yeah, start a second channel. It's the craze at the moment.
Yes, Cooking with Cascada. Making
I don't
pie.
think I could compete with Milo's Scrabble channel.
I have got to go gardening. Beat my gardening one in any day of the week. Do it, mate. Do it.
You don't want to see my garden.
It's all side projects on this one. Ian's cooking, Mark's gardening, I'm doing Scrabble.
You could do like a duo, Ian and Joe Beats cooking at night in the kitchen.
I'm not that northern.
Anyway, boys, I think we've got to try and wrap up the show.
Joe Coleman will cook.
She'll have a saber beat. He'll have his lightsabers. Be like,
Ian would like that though.
He would.
I've got a lightsaber just over here.
Lightsabers would be great. Anyway, if you fancy joining Ian on his cooking show, you can find us on our socials at Incensed Podcast. There are many ways you can be a part of our show. But before we wrap up, if you wish to support the podcast, check out our brand new merch. We're going to drop the Go Fest related merch, and the first up for us is Madrid Go Fest. The merch for that, you can find it on our store from May the 1st onwards. And there's some fantastic looking designs on there. I think we're going to have pocket and full print as well. And Mark and Ian and the long retired casual will probably be scouting for you in Madrid if you cop the merch. So they'll be doing a live recording over there, actually. So that'll be a good way to get yourself noticed for sure. And
absolutely. And the Madrid design is gorgeous. Italian designed, made in whichever your locality is. This merch is across both our EU and US store. So wherever you live in the world, you're covered.
Yes, you will be able to access it and get it to you. So I look forward to seeing some posts on social media. If you cop the merch, let us know on our socials at Incensed Podcast. We'll give you a little retweet. It'll be awesome to see.
Get a cheeky little selfie. Tag us.
Yes, please do. But before we finally wrap up, we've got to give a huge shout out to every single one of our amazing Patreon supporters. Whether you're on the bronze, silver, or gold tiers, all of you help keep this podcast growing, going, and hopefully entertaining every single week. We've got a special shout out to each of the gold tier members. That's customary. They are Hermes Ninja, JB, Clifford Mert, Darby Russ, Kerry and Zachary, Connor Lee, Apex 171, Mufti, Barside 2, Highbone, Maz, aka Ozma Lionheart, and finally Mandy Croft. Thank you very much, everybody, and that is going to be it for this week, listeners.
But boys, good news.
What?
Well, do not forget, on Tuesday, the 30th of April, we have got Clefairy Spotlight Hour, which has 2 times Catch Candy.
Straight after Clever Hatch Day.
With no shiny bullets. Oh dear. Well, on that candy crushing disappointment, I'll probably be playing that Spotlight Hour with a very tall Australian, but we hope you'll be able to join us all again next week.
I choose you!